like I'm downstairs.
You good? You good?
Um,
Good
okay.
Monday. We live.
Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning,
Only
gang.
thing I can suggest is in between talking, maybe hit a little mute or
Mute the
something. Just
mic.
say a little bit, a little bit. You good though? You good though? Good morning, gang. We in here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, gang.
Let me get here so I can pin this situation. Get on over here to YouTube. That part.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning.
Let me pin the
I
message.
need.
Bye bye.
I need to get in here so I can see these notes, these shitty chats. See what y'all going on. It's
Uh-oh.
Friday.
Rich done started it off. He done started off. Good morning to you. Talk
Is
about
there beef grease
beef
to be
grease.
had?
Beef grease gang. Bang bang. Damn ass.
Don't be changing our name, Phil. Rich, they're a troublemaker.
757 Buzz. Good morning to ye. Listen, we in the building. Good morning, gang.
Good morning, gang. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
How y'all
Happy
feeling this morning? Ladies and
Friday.
gentlemen, as you come in, hit them thumbs up. It costs you Nathan to do that. And if you don't want to do that, you ain't doing nothing but hating. And guess what? It's Feel Good Fridays. Guess
It
what,
is Feel
beloved?
Good
On
Friday.
Good Friday at that.
I
Listen,
know. Remember
they
Good
reminded me of
Friday?
the pregame. I was like, what? A double entendre? Listen, praise due. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
You too.
I'm trying to get
Listen,
in these
it's the weekend. Time to freak in. That's what they say. Or sleep in. Be love act like
yes.
be love sound like she been creeping. She been out in these internet streets and these real streets. I don't mean creeping. I don't get wrong. I don't
No,
want no
no
problems. I
creeping.
don't
Good
want no
morning,
problems.
praise dude. Good
When I
morning,
say
James
creeping, I mean just
Jones.
enjoy yourself. I mean just enjoy yourself. Look, I don't want no problems.
Okay, I don't want none either. Don't start no more. Be nice. Shoot. Mess around, the locks be changed. Be like, what had happened?
What
Oh,
I
so you
did, I
running
didn't
these
do it.
streets? You want to be
James
a
Jones, salute.
street runner. Good
Let me
morning, good
get it. I had to
morning, good
clarify
morning,
that.
Amir. Happy
Amir, good morning
Friday.
to you. Salute. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that thumbs up. And if you're
Hit
not
those
subscribed,
buttons.
hit that subscription. Boop, boop, to both
Yes.
of them. Hit that notification bell if you have not done so. Bing! So you can get a notification every time we go on live with something. You hear me? That's a
Yes,
for
exactly.
you.
Is this Feel Good Fridays, guys?
Hell,
I'm
good.
happy to be alive. I hope you guys are too. That seems to be a blessing these days, just be able to wake up and be like, I'm breathing.
I'm
Thank
here.
you.
I'm here.
Thank
That part.
you.
That part.
Okay. Just so
And
you
also
guys know,
tell us. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so go ahead.
You got it.
Listen, guys, anybody wants to join the live, give us about 10 more minutes. Click the link at the top to come into the room. You could be a part of this talk. We're going to be talking that ish on Feel Good Friday today. So get ready, y'all. Get ready. Go
And if
ahead,
you know anything
co-host.
about Feel Good Fridays, you know it's liable to go anywhere and up. That's all I'm
Yes,
gonna
at
say
any
about
time.
that. At
So
any
get your
time.
grown folks drawers on. You got to be 18 and above to ride this ride.
No granny panties
No,
allowed though. No granny panties allowed.
beef grease does not happen with granny panties, just so we clear.
And
Somebody
guess
pulling
what,
them
y'all?
granny panties to the side, Phil. You know somebody is pulling some granny panties to
Oh,
the side as we
they gonna
speak.
have at it. They're gonna be like, you know what? I don't like these drawers, but guess what? I'm gonna
Right.
make
We
it do
don't.
what it do. You feel me?
Come
You
on
know,
come on everybody.
bend
Come
that thing
on
over. Let me pull that
in.
to the side. It's too early. It's too early.
Oh,
Too
listen, it's
early.
never too early for beef grease.
Lord, for you, I guess not. Look.
I'm,
For the ladies,
I'm
for
not
the
just saying
ladies,
for
no, for the
everybody, for
ladies,
everybody.
the
It's
ladies.
equal opportunity beef grease up in
I
here.
don't know. I don't know too many
Morning,
fellas want some
Tracy
beef
T.
grease. I
They
don't know too
giving the
many
beef
fellas.
grease.
I
They
don't, they
cooking the
might
beef grease.
yeah, we might prepare it, but we don't necessarily want it.
Hey, a
Keisha
quickie and a
Hall,
quickie.
Tracy T. Hey,
Hey,
hey.
Tracy. Good morning. Good morning,
Keisha
Keisha
Hall gonna say
Hall.
good morning, my
Come
fellow
on.
beef greasers.
Yes.
That
Yes, Keisha.
man.
Yes. Bring the beef grease, girl. It
Look,
is Friday. It's
we
Good
only 5
Friday.
minutes in. Oh Lord, listen.
Everybody needs a little beef grease in their life. I think people would be a little less angry if they were getting their
Ah,
morning beef grease.
ah,
Whether they getting it greased or they getting the grease, any way you cut it, it's all good.
Listen,
Evolution, I ain't even trying to take your spot, mama, tonight.
listen. Make sure y'all share this live with at least with 1 to 7 people. Let us menage with the world. Don't hold this to
Yes.
yourself. Share the
Yes.
love like this was Woodstock. This is Phil and Be Love Stock called the Good Morning Gang.
Good
Share
morning.
us.
Yes, for real. Good morning, the real Packy Week.
Packy
Yes.
Rich. I know you
Yes.
came through with some oh way, ready to get your
Yes.
day going, brethren. This is
Okay.
Ryder. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Ryder. Good morning, gang.
We done
It's
already
Pheel.
started.
Yes, we
I blame
did.
Rich. I blame Rich for bringing up beef grease early.
Listen, you already know that this show gets started with beef coffee and beef grease. Good morning. Good morning and
Hold on.
cheers.
Did you say beef coffee? Did you say
No,
beef coffee and beef?
I said this live gets started with coffee and beef grease. You need a little, hopefully in a different order, but whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Yeah, I'm
Black
working
Bull
tonight.
in
I'm
the
gonna
building.
test it.
Salute.
Yes, Good Friday, Easter. Good morning, Black Box. Good Friday. This is Good Friday. So it's Feel
That's
Good
it.
Friday
Feel
on Good
Good Friday
Friday.
on Good Friday on the Good
Yes,
Morning Gang.
yes.
Listen,
Share this live,
and
guys. We're
and
gonna get
guess what,
started in a
y'all?
few.
We got a surprise for y'all on Monday. That's it. That's all we gonna say. We got a
Yes,
surprise.
yes. You must tune in on Monday, y'all. It's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah! Just
That
put
part.
out my okay and clocked in at work. Okay. He walking through the door with the J's. I'm not even mad. Can I
Look,
just
ain't got
ask
us
you?
in the ear. Ain't got us in the
Okay.
ear while he walking to work like, yeah, we
Excellent
about to feel good on
multitasking
Friday.
skills. Exactly. Excellent multitasking skills.
That part, Package, we ain't talking about. Listen, if y'all gonna have me in here, I got to have my Good Morning Gang show on. I just tapped the J, so I'm ready to get my day going. You feel me?
I just need to tap a J too. I'm just saying it's not like a beef grease, coffee, and J in the morning. Like that combo is better than McDonald's, baby. Better than a bundle.
That's a fact of Mundo. Rich talking about some please let evolution know it's a religious day before the shenanigans begin. And you think that's gonna
Listen,
stop? Do you think that's
you
gonna stop?
you
All I'm
cannot
saying,
hold a freaky woman down.
that part.
That's just it's not
Not
gonna
gonna be
happen,
able to do it.
Rich.
Y'all come on over to YouTube. ASAP Mike
Hell,
Rock. Hey Trina. Hey Beyond Baby.
good
There's the welder. Come on over. Presence.
good
I see
morning,
you.
Peach Scheme 101. Good day, James Jones. We're gonna be talking about everything. We're gonna get the
Peace
show started in
King
a couple of
Wagwan.
minutes. We just letting everybody come on in, letting y'all get y'all coffee. Cause you know it's so funny. Somebody mentioned to me the other day. They were like,
DC
y'all
Mumbo
take so
sauce.
long to get started. I'm like, we just want to give y'all a minute to get your coffee. You know what I'm saying? Get your tea, get
Get
your
in there.
juice, get your smoothie together. You know, hey 757 buds.
Hey
Hola,
Renee.
morning, Nene.
Hey Renee. Happy
DC.
belated birthday. It's still your week, girl.
Yes, it is. DC Mumbo sauce. I want to go everywhere with Renee. We went out to eat yesterday. If y'all don't know, I'm down here in Philly. It's the first
Philly,
stop of the
Philly, y'all.
weekend tour. We're gonna stop in and check in on our girl Nikki Strong. So we went out to dinner yesterday, and we ain't even sit down 10 minutes, and our second group of drinks coming over, and the waiter was like, "Oh, so somebody bought y'all some drinks." Now, mind y'all, we gonna get into the show in a minute, y'all. But so this is the thing about us. Like we walk in love. When I say that, I mean it all the time. Like me, the people that I rock with, we walk in love. We walk into the place. We go to the bar, which is my favorite place to be, and I know it's hers too. And homegirls at the bar, she gives us a look up and down, and she throws a couple of menus our way, and then she don't pay no mind to us, like none. So we sitting there for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm not one for the bad service at all. So this is actually a really like I need y'all to like really stay with me because we really don't appreciate good customer service anymore. We don't like we
None of
don't
us
even
do.
acknowledge it. We just expect it, and right now, at the end of the day, we're just not getting good customer service. So we're in we're in a spot. So after like 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm not paying for bad service. So we go to the front, we get a table, we sit down. Within 5 minutes, we're getting served, our drinks are coming, whatever the case may be. So then the waiter comes over and he's like, now it looks like it was a happy hour. So maybe, her regulars were there. Maybe she just felt like she wanted to cater to her regulars, talking about the bartender at the bar, cater to her
Yeah.
regulars. We're new, she don't know us, whatever. Our food and stuff. He comes with a second round of drinks. Now, this is the infamous Renee. Renee makes friends everywhere we go. Everywhere. I don't care where we
Hey,
are. I don't
she's
care
talking
what
about I
we
plead the
doing.
fifth.
Oh, listen, I don't care what we doing. The next thing I know, we got new friends. We're about to take the kids home. I'm like, nay, we leaving people where they where they are. And it's always just, I had to compliment the young man who served us. So I'll go to his manager afterwards, right? And the manager looks terrified, and the young kid looks terrified. The waiter comes over like, did I do something wrong? And I was like, I just wanted to let you know that. I explained to him, I said, we came to your bar, we got no service, we got two menus and no service. I said, we sat down, this man has taken care of us, anything we want or needed he's brought over to us, he's given us exceptional service. I was like, and I
Yeah.
had to stop and say that because we don't give each other any kudos when we do good stuff. We just want to talk about when you don't. So I just wanted to shout him out. His name was Darnell. I gave him a Yelp review. And I just wanted to say, appreciate the people who take care of you because
Look,
it's a
that
lost
part.
art. It really
That
is a
part.
lost art. So I love you. No, seriously, Renee. Renee has family everywhere. Next thing I know, we got sisters, cousins, a whole brother. I'm like, girl, you cannot just be picking people up along the way. But I love her. I respect it, tribute, tripping. Wake up, be love. I'm just in the notes, guys. Keep on coming in, making sure you putting those thumbs. I don't know. I guess we lost our moderators. We need new
Boop, boop.
moderators. We interviewing for new moderators. You
They'll
want to
be
be a
in shortly.
moderator?
They'll be in shortly. But
I'm
yeah,
on
if
the
you're
second
interested,
come.
holler.
Renee, that is a bae. Yeah, Renee is beautiful, and she has such a good like energy and heart about her that it's awesome to hang out with her. I respect you. I love you too, girl. Donnell was dope. Yeah, I don't know how to spell his name. Miss Louis, get the V grease. See, Rich, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all about to get me put out my house. No, Donnell, you cannot get the V grease. There's no V grease. No,
Let me see
this.
that. No, 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 no.
The joke of it is Darnell he was missing a tooth, y'all. So he was going through one of his other tables, and I was like, listen, don't let anybody take your energy. Everything's okay. He said they be treating me like the little black boy with a missing tooth. And as soon as he said that, and I saw his mouth, I was like, oh, well,
Don't tell me you
like
laughed the boy out. Don't tell me you laughed the boy
I
out.
was like, listen, don't worry about it. We all got our flaws and all. Just see me. Not the little black boy with the missing tooth, though. I was just like, yo, he
And I
labeled
bet
this.
you laugh. I bet you laughed probably even harder, didn't you?
Girl, that's it. I was just like, oh, don't worry about it, yo. I'm really the packy week. Yes, we're going to get some cheesesteak today. Don't worry. I got one packed up for you. We are going. We got you. We got you.
That man.
No, serious. I'm serious.
Co-host
He
can't
said
even
that
get none of that
himself.
packing week. You ain't good. You ain't good.
Okay, I got you. You know I got you, Phil. No problem. I'm gonna throw one on in the mail down to you to the DMV
Look.
too.
Go
Philly
on.
cheesesteak for you, for you, for
You.
you. Everybody gets a Philly cheesesteak.
That part.
Oh my goodness. Happy Friday, guys.
You
Come on
too.
in. Feel Good Friday. See, this is why we wait to get the show started. We want to make sure y'all don't miss anything. Because we
Anything.
talking that ish about everything.
Any and everything. And it's already start to simmer just a little bit. Simmer just a little bit. But most importantly, the most important thing is one, y'all had the experience. Y'all created
Yes.
a memory and y'all had a real good time. So that's a dope thing. Sounds like it
Yeah.
wasn't no drama. Yeah, the bartender might have been on some bullshit every few minutes, but y'all did the appropriate thing. Y'all stepped away from it, sat down at the table, had, one, two Jones giving y'all the proper service y'all deserve, and it
Yeah,
was good.
man.
Oh, Donnell G, salute. Good morning, gang.
Good
Gino,
morning, Donnell. Are you the one with the 1-2 sitting out here serving in Philly? No, I'm joking. Donnell, everybody come on and we're gonna get the live started in a little bit. We have
oh
so
yeah,
much to
yeah. I
talk
gotta
about.
change that. I'll change that. Don't worry about that, Gino. Appreciate that. I'll change that. My bad.
What you up to? What my co-host doing? He always
I'm
up to something.
I'm chilling. I inadvertently copied and pasted and didn't change the episode number, but I got it when we get off here. It's all good.
Okay. Okay, good stuff. Guys, just
Uh,
remember you guys can join the live too. It's Feel Good Friday and it's Good Friday. Couple of days before Easter, y'all. So, if y'all want to come in and give some Easter wishes or some Easter love, just go to the top of the link right at the very top in the blue. My co host, the navigator over there, will let you in. Let's just,
that part.
walk in love today. Because, when I was a kid, Good Fridays, you weren't even allowed to talk. Everybody was just supposed to be quiet all day.
I ain't
And
never
maybe
heard that.
that, really? Oh, my
I
mother
ain't
was
never.
savage. That was the Sagittarius in her. She was like, nobody talks today. Nobody. Maybe she just needed a quiet time. I don't know.
Maybe she needed a
Any-
good Friday. Maybe she needed a good Friday. Y'all shut the figure thing up. Don't say nothing. For y'all be unresurrected. Look.
Well, working on resurrection, one or
You
the
know
other.
what I mean? Y'all won't be gone for 3 days.
But you know what I remember about Good Fridays was like we were gonna put on that Easter outfit in 2 days. Easter was one of the jiggiest times of the year in my house. Like we were gonna get the dress. I was getting the dress. My brother was getting the suit. You had the little Easter bonnet. Life was good on Easter. Did you
hold
celebrate
on,
like that?
hold on. You used to wear a bonnet.
Of course, it was
I
Easter.
I need some Thursday flashback picture of you in that
Oh
bonnet. I
no.
need to see
Oh
that.
no. We will not.
Can
We
y'all
will
imagine me
not.
like this
Mm-mm.
in the
Mm-mm.
little
Yes.
bonnet? And I'm picturing the bonnet from
I
like
like.
off of like the cartoon, Money cartoon, the baby with the bonnet.
No, you gotta stop
But yeah,
funning
we
on
got
me.
that. We got Dapper on Easter. Had to put on the 2 and 3 piece suits. You know what I'm talking about, and make it do what it do. Make it do what it do. And it
Yes,
seemed
I
like
love
service was
Easter.
extra long on Easter at that. It would seem like they were extra long on Easter. At least
It's
when I
for
was little.
sure. For sure, it had to be. It was the day, that Jesus resurrected. You don't get just the regular 60-minute service. You need the 90,
I
120-minute
get
service.
120. You talk about 240. Look, that's what, especially to a kid. To a kid, it seems like all day. Like, man, why we got like,
Did
to
you
us
go to
grown up, it might have been like, oh man, but to a child, it's like, man, we gonna be here till next weekend.
Exactly. We still here. But did you go to Catholic church? Because in my early years, I went to Catholic church, and all we would do is get up, sit down, get up, get on your knees, sit down, stand up, get up.
Domini.
I'm like, I didn't even know what he was saying. It was really hard. I'm vibing
Yeah,
this morning,
nah,
drinking neosugar.
y'all come on over
Okay.
to YouTube.
Yes, Rich. I see you sipping on that champagne. I'm sipping on the next best thing to champagne, Starbucks. Why Starbucks so freaking expensive though? It's just coffee. It's
They
just
know they got y'all like
coffee.
crack. They know y'all. They know they got y'all like crack hooked. Oh, they gonna come get it. They gonna come
They
get
damn
it.
sure do. They damn sure do. Never heard that. What you ain't hearing, Renee? So, what are your plans before we get into this talk? Let's chop it up a little bit about what you got going on this weekend, Phil. Like, do you still do the Easter thing? Do the kids celebrate Easter, or is that just
um,
like another dead art form?
um, I don't do too much for Easter. Like if my youngest kids want to do something, then we do something. But generally, it be church or whatever, and that's about it. This year, I don't even know if I'm feeling. going into the sanctuary, but that don't
Really?
mean it. Well, yeah, sometimes you just want to just reflect. You know what I'm saying? And just be to yourself. That don't mean that you can't worship and or give your time and reverence, but just sometimes the hoopla is like you can miss me with that.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it
for
does
me.
become a lot. It becomes what I did find interesting was last weekend was I was out and people had their palms from Palm Sunday, and it just brought me back to a time like when we really did have traditions, whether they were right or wrong. Whether you know what I'm saying, to me now everything is much more commercial. Like those Easter baskets are up on those Walgreens shelves back in January. You got the
Uh huh.
Valentine's Day candy, and then you got the Easter baskets. Which I don't know. Let me know in the comments, y'all. Are y'all still doing Easter baskets like for your kids? Because I know that was something that I really I used to do for my kids when they were younger. I used to, then as they got a little older, I would make them customized. I wouldn't just buy the $20 basket off of the shelf. I kind of wanted it to be more special. Now today, even with my grandbabies, I'm like, I'm not buying them no raggedy Easter basket. Like, first,
Oh,
I know it's terrible. It's
don't
terrible. Do you
shortchange
still
your
do?
grandbaby.
You still doing Easter baskets at your house, fool?
No, well, not for the kids that live with me. They a little bit older. Again, y'all know daggone Easter bags. My youngest too, yeah, okay, but not them. We're not having that.
Why
With a,
not? You could put a whole PS5 in the Easter basket now. You got to give
they,
me.
we got that. We got that. Listen. Y'all better go and grab your laundry basket and put some clothes in it, maybe some snacks out the pantry, and call it a day.
Not the laundry
Let
basket.
that be your basket on there on a good Easter. And be
Oh my
thankful.
god.
Roof over your
Okay.
head, food to eat, extras. Read all about it. You hear me?
Not the laundry basket. That's hysterical. Sorry, kids. Sorry, Phil's kids.
Man, don't be sorry. They grown. They damn near. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, what?
We need to put the basket together ourselves. It's all right, Packy. Packy Reed. Exactly. Who needs Easter baskets? My sister Roz is making them. Okay, she a little late. For Easter basket orders. I'm sure she don't even want them no more. But yes, now we know Richard's sister got the Easter baskets. I've never done baskets. We don't fully participate. We used to go to their ham's house to collect eggs, but the last 4 to 5. Let's talk about the whole egg thing. Because for me, I've done the coloring of the eggs, but then I was grossed out by it after that. So I was never a hard boiled egg eater. But if you
Me
put those
either.
eggs in a dye, I'm grossed out. What if when you crack the egg, the color gets on the egg? It just kind of grossed me out.
I
But
don't like. I don't like. I can't eat boiled eggs either. So I used to do the decorating of the eggs with the kids and all that stuff. But y'all can
no
have
more.
that because I wasn't eating crap.
Hey
Hey,
Maria, good morning.
hey, Tina B. Marie, I see you.
Okay.
Shonda Edwards, hey, listen,
Shonda, yes, the large. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was
that
like, put that
part. Get
dirt,
your
them
laundry
dirty.
basket. Throw the clothes at the bottom, like the little shredded, colorful shred. Throw your clothes down the bottom. Hit the pantry. Grab some little snacks and things. Get a couple juices or something. Throw it in there. Go back to your room. Get your phone cord. Throw your
Oh
iPhone
no,
in there.
no,
Throw a
no,
little extra.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Call it
no,
a
no,
happy
no.
Easter basket. You hear me?
That is hysterical. Oh my god, that
Come on
is
over you.
hysterical. Well, listen, whatever you guys are doing this Easter, just make sure you are safe. Make sure the kids have a good time. Make it about what it's really about, which is God.
That part.
Um, and on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get into some of this news because there is stuff going on.
A lot
I
of
don't know,
things. A lot of things.
a lot of things that are just crazy to me when we think about the fact that racism is, first of all, it's always been blatant. But anytime it shows itself to me, it's so insulting because I'm just like, I still can't believe that these people really just flex their white privilege so freely. And I remember a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago I did a live and I'm like, I'm flexing my white privilege too, just so you know. I'm flexing all my white privilege the same way y'all flex your white privilege. Why? Because, as a citizen of this country, as somebody who was born in New York City, we all know if you're not white, you black. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go ahead and wear my white and right like you wear your white and right. There's no reason why I shouldn't. But
What
just
white and right
recently,
got?
I got every white and right they got. I have the same access to education. I have the same access to wealth and fortune. I have the same access to all of the places that they go to. Don't get
You
it
missing one part.
confused.
You missing one part.
What's that? The color? It's
Yeah.
the added. It's no. It's a mindset. That's the whole thing. We keep
It's
thinking
a
it's the
mindset.
color. It's a mindset.
How are you?
It's a whole mindset. I'm gonna walk up in here like I own it, just like you do. How about that? Care? I don't care. I don't care. Um, but I don't know if anybody had the chance yesterday to watch the two Democratic House of Representatives who were just expelled from the House of Representatives. Right? It was three people. There were three lawmakers who,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm sorry, yeah, there were three House of Representatives who basically last week took a stand on gun violence. They came in, they were on the podium, they had a micro, a bullhorn, and they basically were taking a stand against gun violence. And the fact that the state of Tennessee, this all happened in Tennessee, guys. All of them are representatives of Tennessee. The fact that they literally just had a shooting 2 weeks ago, and instead of tightening gun laws, where they lost three babies and three teachers, instead of tightening gun laws, they actually loosen them. They're making it easier for people to buy assault rifles. And we've talked about that here. I don't understand why anybody would need an assault rifle in this country. It's one thing to have a handgun, it's one thing to have a shotgun if you're trying to stop somebody in a situation, but an assault rifle is just crazy to me. And so these three representatives went in and they weren't disrespectful, they just wanted to be heard, and they ultimately got two of them. This is the fun part. It was two young black representatives and one white lady. Yesterday, they voted to expel the three of them. They managed to expel the two young black guys. The white lady just made it by the skin of her teeth. Just made it, but still made it nonetheless. And I was watching it yesterday on TV, and when I tell you that this young representative, his name is Jones. His name is Justin Jones. When I tell you that he was reading these people like the Bible, it was crazy.
Epic.
He was so on it. And he was so eloquent. He was just so well spoken. But he was reading those people like they were in church. So I just want to get into the story a little bit. I want to hear what you guys have to say if you manage to watch it. It's a little lengthy, but let's just talk about it, guys. And remember the live, you guys are always welcome to come into the live. Just go to the very top to the blue link, click on the blue link, come on into the room. The navigator right here, my co-host to the left will let you in. Let's talk that ish, guys. So, undemocratic. Tennessee legislature expels two lawmakers over gun violence protests. Two Democratic lawmakers have been ousted from the Republican controlled Tennessee State House of Representatives, and one was allowed to stay in what marks the first partisan expulsion in the state's modern history. The
Hmm.
three lawmakers, the three lawmakers, state reps Justin Jones and Justin J. Pearson, who were expelled, and Rep. Gloria Johnson, faced separate expulsion hearings. Thursday for allegedly violating the chamber's rules of decorum by participating in a gun control protest at the state capitol last week. At one point during the protest, the trio stood at the well of the House chambers, leading chants with a megaphone. The demonstration came in the wake of the deadly Covenant School shooting in Nashville on March 27th, where a former student fatally shot three children and three adults. Days later, Tennessee Republican reps Bud Housley, Gino Bulso, and Andrew Farmer sponsored the expulsion resolutions, arguing the three Democratic lawmakers did knowingly and intentionally bring disorder and dishonor to the House of Representatives through their individual and collective actions. Jones, the first lawmaker expelled when House members voted to adopt H.R. 65 Thursday, called the resolution a spectacle and a lynch mob assembled to not lynch me, but our democratic process. This is the representative, y'all, that I'm telling you. When I say he read them, he was reading them left and right. We called you all to ban assault weapons, and you respond with an assault on democracy, Jones said during his 20-minute opening statement. Following the adoption of the expulsion resolution, Jones said his ouster set a precedent that any member who voices dissent or opposition can be expelled from the legislative body. Today is a very dangerous day for America, he said in the hallway, and it is. Pearson, who sang Power to the People and quoted from the Bible during his opening statement, called the resolution to remove him an injustice against the First Amendment. Speaking up on behalf of the last, the lost, the least, those who've been left out, those who've been ignored, those who've been silenced but refuse to be silent anymore. That does not deserve expulsion from this house, he said before he was expelled from the chamber Thursday evening. During her hearing, Johnson, the sole lawmaker to survive the expulsion resolutions, denied allegations that she shouted from the well during the demonstration last week, but she maintained that she joined the protest, breaching House decorum in a needed effort to stir good trouble. Um,
Hmm.
Basically, what this allows to happen now is that they've gotten rid of two young. So Justin Jones is 28 years old, and Pearson is 26 years old. They're both educated black men with degrees. They have basically were in by a landslide, which means that there was really no competition.
Mm-hmm.
This them being removed now, means that they're not there. They're supposed to be there to defend their constituents. This is the
Mm-hmm.
problem I have with. They spoke up for their constituents. While we have talked about the fact that assault rifles and guns really is a monetary push, this is all for the money of it. Their job is to protect their people. And that's what they did. They didn't go in with guns blazing. They didn't do any of that. They could have, but they didn't. They went in with their words. They went in with their actions. None of it was disrespectful. Now, removing these two from their seat means that there'll be a special election to allow somebody else now to come in, or they can actually run for the seats themselves. I'm
Hmm.
not from Tennessee, guys, but when I tell you, if you are or know anybody who lives in Tennessee, you need to re-vote for these guys. If these guys run for election again, they should be voted back in. They did their job, and because of it, they got punished. Is this just we want to silence you? Is it a race thing? I want to hear from all of y'all. Phil?
One, I think, is a travesty of justice. I like yourself. I'm not acclimated with Tennessee state legislation, laws, procedures, processes. I'm wondering if there's an appeal process that they have as a part of it. One, two. It just goes to show you that in 2023, the good old boy mentality is still around. No matter how we want to skirt past it, get past it, look past it, or act like it ain't there, that is still there. And it's foul that the one white person that was part of the issue was allowed to, okay, keep your seat.
Right,
But the
right.
two gentlemen were excised from their position or whatever.
Yep.
And what's crazy is the state should rally behind them. However, I know, again, there's a lot of the good old boy mentality down there in Tennessee. Not all over Tennessee, but in a lot of areas. So it would be hard to get the state to rally. But if nothing more, the constituents from their area should make their presence known, should make their
Absolutely.
presence felt. To be like, no, no, we're not sitting down. We're not allowing this. This is who we voted in. This is who we want in these seats.
Right.
Y'all need to get with it. And when it comes to gun laws and all that, like you said, everybody don't need an assault rifle. Assault rifles ain't even really used for hunting, so you can't use that as an excuse. I am one that says, okay, if you want to have guns, okay, cool. However, there should be mandates, there should be laws in practice, um, because there's a plethora of people that shouldn't have them. And the first thing people think about is criminals. Criminals get
Yeah.
guns illegally. Criminals get guns illegally. But you got a lot of sociopaths, psychopaths, racist and other type individuals that get guns legally that shouldn't
Yeah.
have them. Y'all so much concerned about the criminals getting guns. The criminals are gonna get guns anyway. It's the people that slip past the process, maybe haven't been charged or found out yet to get guns and go to school and shoot up schools and harm our kids and harm people in mass shootings. Those are the even more dangerous people than the common criminals we're worried about. Yes, criminals shouldn't have guns. Yes, they shouldn't. However, the ones you really need to be worried about is so-called patriots, so-called uh, not so-called, these crazy individuals that go up into our children's schools
Yeah.
and exact their deranged bullshittery on our youth.
Yeah.
That's what they should have been handling in that hearing. That's what they
Right.
should have been going after.
Right.
We're not saying y'all shouldn't have guns or can't have guns. What we're saying is there need to be measures in place because some people in their neighborhoods, people know, oh, that person shouldn't have had no gun. They've always been strange or they've always been off. There should be some kind of something put in place that kind of becomes a stopping block or a hassle for certain people to be able to get guns. And I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't gonna be long with it. But it's some bullshittery. Tennessee, stand up. That's what the hell you need to do. The
Right.
folks that got elected to office should not be able to be pushed out from people that ain't from their communities who voted them in. That part.
Right. And understanding what the agenda
Watch.
is. I I think good morning, Watchman. I think one of the things that, especially for our people who say they don't vote, our votes don't count. This is why they don't vote. Things like that. And I'm just like, this is why you should vote. This is exactly why you need to take a step forward to make your voice heard, because they don't want anybody who's protecting us in position. They don't want
That
anybody
part.
who's making sure that we're okay in position. That's where our job comes in. I know people who've never voted. I know some people who just don't vote in certain elections. House of Representatives, very important election. We kind of talked about that. And so, if you're again in Tennessee, make sure you stand up and make your voice heard. This is crazy and it needs to stop. And it feels like we don't have any power over it, but we do. Go out and vote. Go out
There's
and
a
vote.
let me say this because I see a couple people in the comments. Yes, there is some background noise. B Love is traveling, so where she's at, she's in I think a lobby or a lounge situation of a hotel. So you might hear some noise, etc. Don't worry about it. We make it do what it do. It's the Good Morning Gang. We make it
That's right.
happen. We make it happen. You hear me?
Background noise. Exactly. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
good. It's good.
mute out in a little bit. But
Actually it's minimal. Actually, it's minimal compared to earlier when you first started. So
okay.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
just let me know if it gets too loud. But which goes to my next story, which is the fact that the nephew of former President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, recently has put in his paperwork to run for the Democratic presidential nomination. Now, let's talk about Joe Biden, because I know a lot of people do not like Joe Biden as a person. There's a lot of, and remember, this is Feel Good Friday, guys. So, us talking about politics is not the downer. It's about making sure that we protecting our country and our rights, which I don't feel like we do enough. We have such a voice and such a presence. So, no, I don't get flued out. I fly myself out, Watchmen, just so you know. Okay, but and I do fly. I will flew you out. How about that? Hey,
Oh,
Sarah Lynn 40.
oh.
It's not bad.
Hey, watch me. She
Um,
said, I'm going to fly you out.
okay.
Wow.
I flies me out. I find that interesting. Let's talk about that real quick, right? Because it's Feel Good Friday. Have y'all ever flew anybody out? And once you do, Phil, I'm gonna ask you: is the
Don't ask me
expectation that
nothing.
I'm supposed to give up some goodies because you flew me out? Is that the expectation with the flew out?
Nah.
I'm just
Nah.
curious because I fly myself out, so I don't really know what. I don't put myself in positions.
Nah, definitely not the expectations. Whatever
Thank you,
happens,
Sarah
happens.
Lynn.
But whatever don't. You know what I'm saying? We're grown. It's more about the experience, the company. You know what I'm saying?
See, Phil
the
talking
time.
that politically correctish. I need
No,
y'all in the
I'm
comments
still
to let
keeping it
us
real.
know.
I'm
Let
keeping it
us
real.
know. Oh, yeah, are y'all flying them out? And if you are, what's the expectation? Ladies, if a man flies you out, is the expectation in your mind that you need to give up some goodies? Because that's why I don't get flown out. I kind of like to do things on my terms. And what I mean by that is I'm not trying to get caught up in a situation where I'm being flued out with the expectation that I'm giving anything up. I'm not for sure gonna be like, I'm locked out of my hotel room. I have no way to get home. We're not doing none of that. Like, I'm not calling anybody to be like, look what he did. No.
Well, first of all, you got to be with a. You shouldn't get flown out by just anybody anyway, and the person should be a good individual to where none of that would happen anyway. Let's be
It
clear.
happens. You know it happens. You know
It
that there are
happens.
people out there. But I think
It's
it's like the expectation for on any part is like something's going down. Nobody's flying nobody out just to have a conversation. Sorry.
no,
That's just
we're
not
not
what
talking
we
about
have.
conversation, but just the companionship, the company,
Good morning,
the good time, whatever.
Richard. Yeah, the good time. What's part of the good time is what we trying to clarify. What kind of good time are we having? Are we having
Well,
beef grease good time? Are we just having beef sausage good time? Like
so
off the plate? I'm just
pause, pause.
what are we?
Whatever good time she's talking about having, let her have at it. Let her have at it. But I don't want no part of no beef sausage or no
Wait, nobody
that
eats
part.
beef sausage? Come on. I
Listen,
flew my
pause
man
to
out.
all that. Pause to all
Oh,
that.
Keisha Hall says, I flew my man out 12 years ago and he never left, laughed my ass
All
off,
right.
and that's a fact. Now, let me stop. We met on Facebook. He was like, I can't wait to see you. I surprised him with a ticket, and that was it. So, you going to tell
Yeah,
me that when he
man.
got there, Keisha Hall, that there was no beef grease exchange? You're telling me that he just came out and y'all just went out to dinner and that's it? When you get flown out, there is an
She put it on
expectation.
him. She put it
Okay,
on him, and he
he
leave.
never
He's
left.
oh shit. I ain't going nowhere, girl.
Are you giving us
That's
hope that online relationships are still work? Because I don't have any hope in that.
well, see, that's the thing, right? It can. It depends on the individuals, the maturity of the
Look at
individual,
me now.
and and the willingness to fly out or travel, constantly to see one another. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
you yourself, you're a busy person. I'm a busy person, right?
right,
So you may or may not be able to entertain somebody every day. You may or may not. However, if somebody's willing to accept that and or fly out or fly you in or you fly in to spend quality time, it's doable. It's doable. You got to think about some celebrities that move around an awful lot, and the
right,
day to day, the day to day romance and or even quality time isn't necessarily available for them. But so you got to think about it that way. A celebrity, no matter how they look at it, even if they live in the same household, if the celebrity's moved around for work, that's still a long distance relationship. It still is. When you think about
very true. Has anybody in the chat been in a long distance
it.
relationship? Like, how have you? Because Keisha said she got hers and she just locked it down. We're not going back and forth. You're just gonna stay. This is where it is. TMI with the truth. I love it. But I'm just saying, has anybody been in a successful long
Hold up,
distance
hold up,
relationship?
hold up.
What?
Renee said that must have been a hung digger instead of a gold digger.
They
Pause.
got him. Right.
Pause.
They have got.
Hey Renee, what the
Oh my goodness. She is so crazy.
Rich
Exactly.
had beef sausage for breakfast the next morning.
Okay. Like on your plate, you can literally have beef sex. Everything
Uh
is
huh.
not
Uh huh. Uh huh.
sexually driven.
Uh huh.
I'm
Tell
just
you about it.
saying, everything is not sex. But has anybody had a successful long distance relationship? Now, this is a really true story. So my parents, my father always worked. He either had one, maybe sometimes two jobs. He was never really in the house. He was, but he wasn't. And I know it was a sore point for my parents for a long time. When my mom moved to Vegas, she had retired to Vegas, but my dad wasn't ready to retire yet. He was in New York. He would come to Vegas every 3 to 4 months to visit her. And I kind of found like it worked for them. You know what I'm saying? Because when they were together, they always fought. But when they were apart, it was like they
They
looked
missed
forward
each.
to that time together. Yeah. And I was really worried. Like, I was like, when these two finally get together, are they going to kill each other? Because they don't really seem to like each other all the time.
They wrestled. They got it together. They said, oh, "Girl, come out."
It's just like you go to your corner, you go to your corner. So my thing is, does distance make a relationship better for some people? I'm just trying to, I'm trying to get the feels on all of this. Only flying out after the sign BGA. Oh, beef grease and grease. The terms and agreements are important.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, be
Damn
love time.
man.
Oh Lord, Watchmen, don't flirt with me. Morning, gang. Good morning,
Absence makes the
RW.
heart go
Good
fonder.
morning.
At times, yes, that's a definite truth. Absence can make the heart go fonder. It can work. I mean, it depends on the people that's involved. So it works for some. It works for some, and it don't work for others.
Aw,
Some people are more attention needy. Like they
right.
want you there. They want that time. They want that energy. Hell, some people complain if you're working too much
Too
in your
much.
own
Too
state
much.
and city. They like,
Right.
no, I need you him off, and you taking these extra hours and all that. What about us and our time and whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's understandable in certain instances, but it's like, okay, for those people, hell no, that's not going to work. But for others that don't mind one having a long time entertaining themselves and or professional or in a certain arena, and they understand the hustle and grind of the other person, then it
Yeah.
can definitely work. But in that situation, like you was talking about, sometimes, yeah, that acid needs to let the heart grow fonder. Sometimes you need your woo-saw time so that when you come together, the passion is heavy.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, exactly. I don't know about heavy. Sometimes you got to keep it going. Cause I don't know about you. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
I need time out. Could we just do time out? Like, could you just go into that room and I'm gonna come into this room? Which is, I always say to myself, is it because I've been single for so long that I'm okay with these things? When most people want to be booed up and they want to be up under their boo, and I'm like, I'm okay with it for a certain amount of time, but then sometimes I'm like, I'm good. I don't know. Is it a single thing because I was single for so long? I don't know. But
yeah, that could definitely be part of it because
yes.
when you become single for a while, you start to become acclimated and used to doing things the way you want to do it or whatever. Now you enter somebody back into the equation. You have to relearn. You have to learn or relearn how to compromise again. Compromise your time, compromise energy, attention, etc. So I mean,
Yeah, I think that's the thing that it becomes when you get to the point where you don't have to compromise. How much is compromise, and are we confusing compromise for sacrifice sometimes? Because sometimes it feels like this is not a compromise. I just don't want to do this. Like, yo, you are killing me, Jay, man. There was no beef grease last night. I listen. The person that I was in a room with last night could testify that there was no beef grease last night. V Love is getting on this Good Friday. No, y'all are starting trouble. No, no, good
you
morning,
sounded
Nikki.
like me now, B Love. You
No,
like, I don't want no problems. I
I
don't
don't
be
want no
doing. I don't
problems.
want
Y'all
no
about to get me
problems.
kicked out. Locks is about to be changed. What is going on?
Listen, I
Oh
don't
my
want no
goodness.
problems. Listen, now you understand my plight. I stay out the
I
way.
do.
I stay out the way.
It don't matter. We always in hot water for something. I'm like, I guess I just stay in hot water. I guess it just suits me. Who knows? But
Good morning, Nikki.
morning, Nikki. So one of the things this weekend, I'm always reading up on the news, catching up on what it have at it. You gonna get me in trouble, Watchmen. Seriously, you gonna have to flew a nigga out just because you keep talking that.
A permanent fly out, just like
Okay, a permanent fly
Keisha
out.
was
They
talking about.
better come out with a set of keys, a car to drive, a big old closet. Just saying, my flew out
That part.
cars. Um, but just talking about like Resurrection Sunday passing. In the past couple of few months, I'm switching up a little bit. Past few months, we've lost some real heavy hitters in the game. Lance Reddick, as you guys know, the actor from The Wire, he passed away recently. He now with John Wick coming out, young guy. And basically, the autopsy came back, and the family is disputing it. Yeah, you stay in trouble, Phil. The
No,
family is.
I don't want no problems. I don't want no.
Listen, he said only somebody who always got a problem because it got to start off with that. I don't want no problem.
What? No, I just see it coming. I just see it on the way. I'm like, I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. You know?
So Lance Riddick, guys, the coroner's report, the autopsy report came back, and it basically said he had heart disease. So a lawyer from the family of representing the family of Lance Reddick is disputing a report that the late John Wick and the Wire actor cause of death was heart disease, saying that the finding is not a result of an autopsy and is inconsistent with the facts known to the family. So TMZ reported Thursday morning that it had obtained a death certificate listing Reddick's immediate cause of death as ischemic heart disease, as well as, oh Lord, some long word, coronary artery disease. Hours later, Reddick's longtime attorney said in a statement provided to EW that no autopsy was performed on Lance, and to my knowledge, no medical examination of Lance during his lifetime has ever indicated such conditions. He described Reddick as the most physically fit person I've ever known, and said the actor's lifestyle included daily workouts in the home gym, extensive cardio work, and a strict diet. He added that Reddick even had the availability of gym facilities as a contractual agreement when working away from home. The information appearing on the death certificate is wholly inconsistent with his lifestyle. On behalf of Lance's wife, the death certificate information is not corroborated and is inconsistent with the facts to the family. Uh, who makes this up? How did this go down that the coroner put on the death certificate that this is what he died of? They're saying there's no autopsy. How do you just conclude this and then put it out to TMZ?
Did he have a heart attack?
They're saying it's not, I don't think it's a heart attack. They're just saying that he had heart disease. They're not even saying that he died from a stroke. They're saying that the cause of his death was consistent with heart disease and something coronary artery disease. What I'm finding interesting, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but in the past few months, how many people have passed away, especially young kids, have passed away from cardiac arrest? And well, at least that's what they're attributing to. Do y'all think this COVID shot had anything to do with any of that? Because it kind of seems like, something don't sound right.
No telling. That's a fact. Now, I say this, like some people go through medical issues and will not tell their loved ones. So that is a possibility on that side of the table. However, to adequately say that this brother had died as a result of heart issues or coronary issues or the arteries thereof, there should have to be some type of autopsy to make that determination. Unless they knew that, unless there's some kind of medical record somewhere that says that he only had XYZ because of the state of his heart condition, et cetera, that's one thing. But absent of that, there's no way you can kind of formulate that by saying and putting that on a death certificate. And their family might be right. And it might end up being a lawsuit to the state or to whoever performed it or whatever. So that's one to watch because he was a hell of an actor. I remember him going way back in the day to when I was a lot younger, damn near youth. He starred in a movie called The Believers. I don't know if y'all remember that, but he had the light contacts and whatnot. Brother's a good actor, so it's sad. It's sad that if this is a lie, they chose to lie on that man's death or whatever. But
it kind of feels like there's no responsibility anymore to journalism. Like I remember, when we were growing up, journalism, you had to fact check. You had to make sure you couldn't just take a piece of information and run with it. the fact that it's all public, like you're just able to go get all my information, whether I'm married, whether I'm divorced, all the details of the divorce, all of these things, my death certificate, what I died of, all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, where's the privacy? Especially if you're going to put out information that's inconsistent with what's actually going down, or even putting somebody in a poor light. Like Coolio's cause of death was just revealed, and it was revealed that he died of a fentanyl overdose. Now here we are, have a beloved, well-known rapper, been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? That we know that the music game, entertainment game, is fueled with drugs, is fueled with sexual, it's fueled with a lot of things. But do
Mm-hmm.
I want anybody to know that my husband died, or my father died, or my uncle died of a fentanyl overdose? Like, can we be a little more discretionary, or do we give that up because we live in this public life, and now it's all fair game?
Well, it would in the case of Coolio, it's been kind of common knowledge that he's battled with narcotic issues, the usage issues throughout the years or whatever. Um, but the fact that when they die, the information is made so public so quickly. Even though in this case, it took a while for them to let it out with Coolio, as opposed to a lot of other deaths. But maybe the family let it out to be as a warning. Who knows? Sometimes they don't want the information out, and I don't know if states allow you to waive that, um, making it public or not. I'm not sure about that, but in some ways, when you become a celebrity or a public figure or a politician or whatever, you kind of sign up for the public disclosure with a lot of things. There should be areas of your life that should be private. However, the public perception is no, you're a public person. You open the door. We want to be in your life. We want to know what's going on in your love life, your shortcomings, your good times, your bad times, your salacious, whatever the case may be. The public wants in. And does it make it right? No, not all the time. You know, yes, we nosy at times. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they did what? But sometimes it's like, you know, be tactful, be respectful of the person and their family, and what you call it. But it happens a lot. I had a family friend, right, who died of AIDS. We know it was AIDS because he died behind somebody else that got AIDS. But then they tried to say he died of cancer or whatever. And it was we the way he deteriorated, we saw what it was. Because they came out of the crack area and they was tricking the same the same 304s, the same girls, that ladies that were, selling themselves for hits of crack or whatever. They partied with the same people. And that individual definitely passed a great
Wow.
event. And so they try to push it under the rug to not taint, I guess, his image. But people knew what it was or whatever. So, and like I said, he wasn't even a celebrity or nobody of notoriety or whatever. But it happens. It happens.
Yeah, but I like the protection of it. Like, my story and my narrative should be what I want it to be, right? And I understand that even as a celebrity, you kind of give that up. Um, yeah, I saw that, Sarah Lynn. I'm about to go into that in a minute. That they charged the guy who sold the bad fentanyl to Michael K. Williams. But I want my story to be my story, and that's why, to a degree, as much as I love doing this social media stuff, I also try to keep some of it just personal and private, because you never know. Like, people don't know one thing about me. My circle is really, really tight, and my circle is tight because what I've learned is, like, you can't always keep it to yourself. If I'm out with my girls and I drink a little much and I'm a little bit sloppy, it's not your job to talk about me the next day. It's your job to protect me. No, I'm serious. I've been in these situations in the past couple of years where I'm hanging out with people, and I am notorious for not eating, and I'll drink and I'll have a little too much. And it's, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day, the conversation is like, yo, your B was acting this way or doing, you supposed to protect me. If one of my girls had too much to drink, or if they're acting a certain way, I'm not calling Phil tomorrow to be like, yo, so I was out with such and such. Yo, you should have saw her. She was peeing on the side of the road. Well, better than peeing in your car, or she was throwing up in the bathroom. Better than throwing up on all over you. There's no conversation. What I'm doing is I'm making sure that if you're throwing up, your hair is pulled back. If you gotta pee, I'm finding some tissue so you can wipe your little, you know what I'm saying, wipe yourself off. Like, be a
Not wipe your little.
protector. Right, wipe whatever your situation is on. Be a protector, like protect me. I'm a real friend. And what I notice is that I'm not always around people like that. So my circle is super small because if I'm coming to you and sharing in confidence what's going
It
on
should
in my
stay there.
life, that's it.
Stay there.
It shouldn't go
It should
anywhere
stay
else.
there.
And I know I hold many secrets. And that's my job as a friend when I take that job on. So my thing is that way the narrative, if it's like, yo, B Love was a dirty ass drug addict, you're not gonna hear or know that. I mean, I'm not. But I'm just saying, you're not going to hear or know that because I keep that personal and quiet to myself. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think we all get so caught up in people being your friend, or, you think because it's family and it all is all available for sale after it's all said and done. I have issue with that.
Now, you that's real. A friend is supposed to be a friend, and with that, friends hold each other's secrets, and try to keep each other in the best light, and or will refute information, whether they know it to be right or wrong, refute it in the public. They might argue behind the scenes behind whatever went on, but in public, they'll unite in front like, nah, that's my friend. You don't know what you talk about. Shut the hell up. Da 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 da. Whatever the case may be. But we in a different time
That part.
where with social media, we're quick to call each other
Oh, thanks.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
We're quick to call each other friend and not even be buddies or associates, let alone to be able to call each other friends. And so those same morals and values are missing.
They really are, but they also comes down to who you choose to keep in your circle. Good morning, Miss Pink. I see you.
Hey,
Y'all are
Miss
so
Spring.
funny. Thank you, J-Man. Thank you, Watchman. Thank you, Rich, for making sure I will be okay. I think it
Oh,
also comes down to the decisions that we make on who you keep in your circle, and who you allow yourself to be vulnerable with. I have,
that's a
friends who
fact.
I know they run their mouth about everything. So guess what? You're not gonna know everything about me. Why? It's not. It don't even have to be in hate. It's not even trying to. They speak so openly about
The
everything. That,
possibility
yeah, and you
becomes a
like,
lot more probable.
right. So you gotta eliminate the possibility. But yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think so that way when you do know your people, in the case of a Lance Reddick, somebody should be able to come back and dispute that and be like, nah, that doesn't even sound right, and that's what his family's doing. Good for them. Protect your people. Make the narrative yours.
That part.
Ab-
That
Absolutely.
part.
So just speaking on what was mentioned earlier with regards to the man who pleaded guilty to selling the fatal dose to Michael K. Williams, another talented actor, lost him way too young, lost to learn lost him to again another drug overdose. So a New York man pleaded guilty in a Manhattan courtroom on Wednesday to selling fentanyl laced heroin that killed actor Michael K. Williams. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams of the Southern District of New York said in a press release that Irvin Cartagena pleaded guilty to conspiring to distribute heroin, fentanyl, and fentanyl analog. As part of the guilty plea, Cartagena stipulated the substances he possessed with distribution intent resulted in the death of an actor. Cartagena sold fentanyl laced heroin in broad daylight in New York City, feeding addiction and causing tragedy. Okay, we're going to talk about. In doing so, he dealt a fatal dose that killed Michael K. Williams. This office and our law enforcement partners will continue to hold accountable the dealers who push this poison, exploit addiction, and cause senseless death in our communities. Begs the question: didn't he go buy his own drugs?
Of course. Of course. The
How are we
reason
holding somebody accountable for something that someone else did to themselves? I'm not trying to talk about Michael K. Williams, but we all know what addiction is. You coming to me for
the
something.
the problem what has made this is so much what has made this so much of a monster, which it is It's because it has affected suburban neighborhoods. It has affected white households, where these party drugs, cocaine, heroin are used a lot more prevalent than in the inner cities, and at a lot higher rate because a lot of times there's more money available to grab more quantities of said drugs or whatever, and thus they're really honing in and harping in on the people that sell the fentanyl because it is taking people out because of the people that are using it to cut coke, heroin, etc. don't know what they're doing a lot of times to put the certain amount to get to extend the high or you know accelerate the high without killing somebody because greed is what it is. But is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because you got a lot of good people that are dealing with their own demons, that are dealing with their own issues, and they're looking for their escapism. They're looking for their way out or their way to get through hectic schedules or whatever. I'm not making excuses for anybody that uses. That's your life. You know what I'm saying? Your choices. And when you decide to make those choices, know for every action there's a reaction. I have no hell or heaven to put you in. What you do either is going to reward you or punish you at some point in your life. And unfortunately for some people, it's taking some people out of here. And you would think in this day and age, now, especially now, where there's more information and more publicizing of the fentanyl, that people would stay away from certain drugs or whatever, stay away from certain situations. But some people are drawn to it even more, like a moth to the flame. And that's the even crazier part. It's like heroin addicts, their high is to get as close to death as they possibly can. Unfortunately,
Like the
huh?
choke out, like the choke
Kind of
out.
so, but even in the worst way. Yeah, yeah. When
I'm
when
just,
when when people find out that when in the heroin world, when users find out that people OD from that, they want that. Oh, I need to get that. I'll be all right, but whatever they got high off of, I'm trying to get that, and that's crazy. That's crazy to me. But and fentanyl is really ravishing neighborhoods and the young as well as the old because they're putting it in pills and the young you know what I'm saying getting peer pressured and or made to think that it's cool to pop pills and all this and the third and they get these bootleg pills with fentanyl in it and coming up short out of it. But
yeah.
in the case of Michael K. Williams, dope actor,
Hmm.
it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that he succumbed in that way because he still had a future ahead of him. You know,
Right,
he was making his name. He got certain accolades, but he had reached his peak yet, if you ask me.
right,
And that
right.
touched because of his own using. But to get back to your question, should the guy be punished more so because he sold the drugs? If you know you selling death, not just a drug, not the drug. There's one penalty for selling the drugs, and heroin is a lot more stiffer penalty than selling coke. Let's be clear, but fentanyl is a lot more heaviest penalty than even heroin. That says something. If you know you're dealing with something that got fentanyl in it, or the possibility of it, you're taking that chance. You rolling the dice. I want this money. I don't care what it do to whoever. Blah blah blah. Then you got to take what come with it. You got to take what come with it.
Listen, guys, it's one of those things for me that's kind of like it's on the fence. You know, you got to know your dealer. We talked about this from a weed perspective. You know, back in the
Mm-hmm.
days, you knew your dealer, you knew what you were getting, you knew it
Yeah.
wasn't crazy. You can't just buy stuff off of the boat, like off of a cart anymore. You walk down any New York City street and you can buy weed anywhere. Whether you walk into the store, whether there's a little cart that's pushing it, which is crazy to me because I'm like, you don't even know what's in it. You don't know what these people. I've smoked weed that tastes like Lysol before. I'm like, oh, this ain't right. But I'm just saying, I don't
Oh,
smoke
hold on, hold on, hold on,
anymore
hold on. I'm about to
like that.
ask you, smoke that good good. You smoke
Listen,
that
I
good old
can't.
tree.
I may every once in a while indulge, but I really don't anymore for that very reason. Y'all will not be talking about me tomorrow morning. I keep telling people I will not be tomorrow's front page news and be like, beware now on some fentanyl hit. No. A bad
Now I
Molly.
know what
Not
be love.
today.
Now I know how you
We
got the name
know.
Be Love. Now I know how you got the name Be Love. Okay. Listen.
I'm
Ooh-wee.
just like, listen, but it also says, where's the accountability? And, when you talk about addiction is one of those really hard things on both sides. And, guys, everyone who's in the room, thank you so much for being here. We love y'all so much. We love y'all real feedback. Please make sure you put the
That part.
thumbs up, give us those likes so we can share this conversation with other people. We talk about everything here. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not, but it's always in love and it's
That part.
always real.
That part.
And just giving kudos to some of the angels that we've lost, because today is Good Friday on Phil Good Friday. And
On the Good Morning Gang. That
that's
part.
right. So, and tonight, 8 p.m., y'all already know it's Feel the Love Friday. So, if you're looking for a boo thing, you're looking for a hookup, you're looking for real talk, make sure you right here meet my co-host, the beautiful Evolution Brooklyn. I'm sure she's gonna pop in
Evolution
somewhere. She
Brooklyn
always
in the
does.
house.
Hey, without a doubt. They gonna be on here every Friday talking that ish, guys. But this morning we just talking about what's going on in the world, right? We talked about politics. We're talking now about some of our fallen angels, why they fallen. And I also want to, you got anything going on over there, co-host? I'm sorry, because you know me.
For me, I'm good. It's like I said, we have a lot of the same topics, so it's cool.
We can
Um,
chop it up.
yeah, it's nothing really strange, or extra special. I know you had started in on the Kennedy family member throwing his hat in the race. I will say this. There's a lot of legacy that goes on with that. Some of the Kennedys are good people, and some of the Kennedys not so. So we have to be mindful that just running with the name um, into elections, what happens? I see your face.
Just Watchmen is crazy. They said, "Am I gonna be through there tonight for Feel the Love?" Of course, I always try to come through to feel the love. I'm always interested in what's going on. I even participate in the
And she is an
shenanigans.
instigator. She's an
Oh,
instigator. She.
I love it. It's such a good time,
But
y'all.
y'all gave me an idea for a topic for tonight too, about flying
Okay.
people out and stuff. I think that'll be a dope conversation to start out with.
Yeah, let's do the flu people out and what it costs, because it's a real thing. Yeah, I was talking about the Kennedys maybe possibly coming in to challenge the Biden administration. There, Joe Biden, let's be clear, gets no respect, none. And I mean, across the board, around the world, right now, there's so many things happening. We talked about it earlier this week, the devaluation of the dollar, which is not his fault. Unfortunately, it's going to go down on his watch because it's something that they've been using for years to manipulate the world, to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. But there's so
Yeah.
much of a lack of respect. And now we coming into a 2024 presidential election. His vice president, she ain't standing strong on anything. We don't really have a lot of confidence in her, and I think that they assume that the Democratic nomination is going to go to Biden. But it turns out that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's made it official. He filed his declaration of candidacy on Wednesday for the Democratic Party's 2024 presidential primary, creating a potential headache for President Joe Biden in New Hampshire. Kennedy spoke at the New Hampshire Institute of Politics, a popular launching pad for presidential ambitions. The environmental activist and outspoken vaccine skeptic didn't mention a White House run, but when an NH Journal reporter asked, Kennedy replied, "I'm thinking about it," speaking enthusiastic applause from, or sparking enthusiastic applause from the crowd. I've passed my biggest hurdle, which is my wife, who's green lighted it. I like that he asked for permission, and it may go right. We'll have the funny, and if it goes right, we'll have the funniest first lady in history. His actress Cheryl Hines, as you guys know, if you used to watch, what's the show with the bald headed guy, Larry? Oh God, what's his name? Larry. Y'all know Larry David. Curb Your Enthusiasm. So
Okay.
Larry David's wife in Curb Your Enthusiasm. That is Robert Kennedy Jr.'s wife. So yeah, we would definitely have a super funny first lady. And I think that there has to be a sensitivity to the humanism that's kind of lacking from the president that we have in house right now. I would hate to see our sister um, Kamala not be able to get in that seat. But I think that you have to prove that you're ready for the job. And
That part.
neither one of them has really shown what we voted for, and it's taking out the confidence of Democrats. Where now people want to go independent. That whole independent thing gets messy because that's where it allows for things like Republicans to get in the house.
That
And
part.
just talking politics, I want to see some options with regards to the Democratic nomination. I know people who will not vote for Joe Biden if he is the front runner next year,
Oh,
which leaves things a lot open. What are your thoughts, co-host? What are you thinking about this upcoming election and about the fact that we got some fresh blood in the game?
I believe that it's an awkward time that we're in, a crazy time we're in. No matter what side of the table you sit on, far as your political affiliation, um, the shiggity with Trump, the shit with Trump, that's an uneasy place. On this side on this other side of the table, you got Biden, who a lot of people feel as though or felt as though Obama didn't do all they thought he should. If
Right,
you thought he didn't do all of it, y'all thought he should. What are y'all thinking about Biden?
right,
Let that let that sit there.
right.
Kamala, unless she's doing a lot of clandestine things, there's not a lot that you see that she's involved with or a part of or helps out with, um, which makes
Exactly,
the
Trina.
Democratic Party look bad within itself. One, um, the new blood is always good to have new blood. However, is the Kennedy throwing their hat in the race new blood or not? Which Kennedy are we getting? Are we getting a good Kennedy, John F.K. style, or are we getting another Kennedy
Mm,
that's been behind some other issues and things that went on, whatever. Some people run as for the legacy side of it to be a part of history, but does this Kennedy have its people, the United States of America's people as a
best
whole,
interest.
best
Right.
interests, or just only a certain segment, the well-to-do, the upper class, and or the lighter persuaded people? Things you need to
We
pay
don't
attention.
know.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. You got you. We have to do our due diligence and try to dig as much into um, as much public record and pass with these type people as possible as we possibly can. I know we was just talking about privacy and this, that, and the third, but in such a pivotal and important position as the presidency, these people's past should be an open book no matter what, because you need to know who it is you and matter of fact, politicians, period. You need to know who and what you're electing into office. And when it comes to the presidency, even though some people say that's a puppet position, et cetera, et cetera, okay, you still want a good puppet in there. You don't want just anybody in there that's just going to do anything with our laws, do anything with our time, and or places in a position internationally to have us in what's going on now.
Absolutely. I think, we have to remain educated and pay attention. We need to pay attention. The fact that, our dollar is about to go in a complete devaluation because of all of the decisions that have been made. Again, it's not all Joe Biden's fault. I think Joe is old. I think Joe, let me tell you something, how he's been in politics forever. The fact that there's some maybe mental stuff there, the memory's not good. There's a lot of things in play. There's a lot of things in play. And I agree, Trina. I would definitely take Joe Biden or Kamala Harris over a Donald Trump. But the fact that people still believe in Donald Trump, the fact that people would still vote for him and go hard for him, that's what makes it scary, that he really could be president again. Nobody thought that this man would be president. Nobody. Everybody thought nobody's going to vote for him, and they went out and they did it. When they say your vote doesn't count, it absolutely does. And listen, we're not in any kind of political climate now in terms of anything happening where you need to vote tomorrow, but I need y'all to be aware and pay attention to what's going on today and tomorrow. All right, Freaky Phil for president. I think
Whatever.
I think you would make a good president. I think that you are
I
very
would though.
you
The
would.
system would be
You're
different. It'd be listen. I wouldn't be for the bullshiggery.
right.
Listen, a lot of things that we missing, we'd have. Listen, and I think I'm decent at bringing people together, so I can. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
I can see Phil at the
2020 ain't big
table talk
shit. You
about
hear me?
sitting down with
So,
Putin
we're
talk
not-
about we not doing the bullshiggery today, Putin. Not
yeah, we're gonna one
today.
day a week is gonna be no bullshiggery Monday. Listen, they wouldn't let me in the White House because it's trouble,
Oh
trouble,
my
trouble.
god.
But no,
That is
I appreciate that. That
hysterical.
was funny.
It was
That was
funny.
funny.
Oh my goodness. Um so moving forward in entertainment news, because that seems to be what's popping right now. Did you hear that Diddy has to pay Sting $5,000 a day for that sample of Every Step You Take?
Say that one more time.
Puff Daddy has to pay Sting $5,000 a day to use the sample for Every Step You Take. Did you know that?
$5,000 a day since it's been out. Oh, that's a lot of.
I think
Because
it
that when
took
did
a
that come
minute.
out? That came out in the '90s,
20,
right?
26 years ago. So yes,
Oh,
look at that.
5,000 times 365. That's
A
like
lot.
a million and a half, a little over a million and a half a year for
Y'all do the
20 something.
math.
Oh,
Y'all do the math. But it says Sean
oh.
Diddy Combs is still paying the price for sampling the Police's Every Breath You Take, and it's not cheap. The mogul who sampled the smash hit in his 1997 I'll Be Missing You tribute to the late B.I.G. tweeted this week that he's still paying Police frontman Sting $5,000 in royalty each and every day. Diddy made the revelation after a 2018 clip from The Breakfast Club. It was recirculated on Twitter, in which Sting said that the rapper was paying him $2,000 every day for the rest of his life while using the song. Nope, Diddy wrote in a quote, 5K a day, love to my brother at official Sting. It's not the first time that the payment deal between the two artists has made headlines. In 2003, Sting told Rolling Stone that Elton John heard I'll Be Missing You. He told him, you're going to be a millionaire. He is not lying. I put a couple of my kids through college with the proceeds. What college were they going to for a few $1,000,000? And me and Diddy are good pals still. Even if Diddy is writing a $5,000 check 365 times a year, which is a total of $1,825,000 annually. Now, mind you, he's been doing it for 26 years.
Mm.
It's unlikely that it's hurting his wallet too much. Forbes estimated that he earned $90 million in 2022 alone, thanks in part to the partnership with Ciroc, and in 2019 pegged his net worth at $740 million. When you see here talking about $130,000 coochie, I would beg to say this sampling is really the big crime right now. $5,000 a day.
A day. Damn it.
That
Man,
is
listen.
almost two.
It goes to
$2
show you
million
it goes
dollars
to
a
show
year.
you that you should get your business in order and clear them samples. But I get it. I get it to a certain extent because of the the time that we were in at the time. Biggie just passed and wanting to get something out there ASAP. And that
Right.
album, the tribute album that they put out, um, was kind of put together kind of quick. So I get it, but you still have to be a businessman. You still have to handle your business. A lot of people don't understand and know Bismarcky. That's another reason why Bismarck, Biz, went to DJing as opposed to putting out any more records. He got sued for that uh, the song from is it Just a Friend, Spring Again, and there's a couple other tracks on the album. He got sued heavily And
What?
the producers were the ones that actually made those tracks, but
Right.
a lot of artists don't understand because their name is on the project. They have to make sure, or their representation has to make sure that those samples are cleared because if not, they'll get sued. But his whole project, which was one of his best projects ever, he got basically snatched away from him because of the amount of money owed to the people that sued. So that's
It's
when
not
y'all
a
when y'all
game.
a lot more people in latter years knew Biz Markie from being a personality and or DJ, not realizing the depth of hip hop that he comes from, uh, Juice Crew, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason why he didn't continue on making music was partially because of that, unfortunately.
That's just crazy. Agreed. This is where we've talked about this from the music business aspect, making sure you're covering yourselves. And I know, when you think back to the Bismarckies and that time and that era, they really didn't know that they needed legal representation. They really didn't know that they needed to protect themselves. They just wanted to do good music. And there's still our kids, I'm sure, who are in the basement, in the attic, in their room right now. They're either artists in their own sense of the word, whether they're sneaker artists, whether they're clothing artists, whether they're music artists, movies. Make sure your kids are protected, y'all. Make sure you pay to get that lawyer to look over that agreement. Don't let them sign ish. I tell my youngest all the time, I'm like, I don't care if they come up and offer you life. Don't sign anything until we look at it as your parents. Because
And
at the end of the day, they will pimp that love and that want and that need for something.
and with the growth of independent music, independent artists and producers that's getting their tracks on these channels and websites to be sold. There's a lot more sampling going on now than a lot of people really understand, and a lot of people don't understand. They put out these hits and they speed up samples and this, that, and the third to get them by. A lot of
Right.
people gonna be held to account for a lot of these samples that they're using years later. Trust me when I
Yeah.
tell you. One, and people have gotten smarter too. They don't right away sue. They wait to see what the song is going to do. And if the song blows up, oh, now I need my piece. I
Then
need
I'm gonna
my
need
piece.
and I'm going to need my piece. If this is my work and this is my artistry, and you know what I'm saying, creating something off of it and it blows. People were
Come
talking
on
about
and take it. I
Khalees
got you, man.
last year. People were what you call it last year when Khalees. We're talking about Khalees when she blew up Beyonce because they used some of her music on Beyonce's new album without asking permission. It's not okay. It's my work. You need to ask permission. You need to pay me if it pops. That's just it. That's just common sense. So,
Khalees was stupid though. I'll say this: Khalees should have sat back, allowed that thing to be what it was,
and then
and
went after.
then did a sting, or any other artist that did. She would have got really paid. She got paid.
We don't know
His
that
aid.
she did it.
Well, no, because she the thing I think it just came out like not too long before Khalees made us think about it, and they
What
gave
did
them
it say?
time to take her off or take the thing off of it and what she should have did was let it rock. One it would have built her stock back up a little bit more. Two, she could have got paid on the back end.
Right.
We got a me in the
Watchmen.
back office. We got me in the back
He
now.
gotta you gotta bring him up because there's a couple more things I want to talk about and I want his input on it because I already know what he gonna say. King Amir,
Amir was goody like the
welcome.
mob.
Hey, how you guys doing? Happy
Good.
Friday. Happy Good
Happy
Friday.
That part.
Friday.
I
How are
had
you,
this stuff
King?
like
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. I was as always, first and foremost, absolutely phenomenal job that you guys are doing with this platform, and the
appreciate
topics are always, so on point. I, chimed in because, one thing that I wanted to just touch on real quick is this whole gun, situation and these people in the Senate or representatives who have gotten suspended.
Okay.
the pro my issue with so much of what we're seeing, it doesn't make a difference if it's that situation or some of the other things that have made the news cycle. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is those are just precursors to bigger things that the government is really trying to get past us. So I
Yep.
always tell people, it's for those of y'all who are from New York and grew up in our fair city, We used to have this game called Three Card Monte that
Uh-huh.
some of y'all are familiar with. And the three
Right,
Yeah,
card
yeah.
Monte is the, keep your eye on the red, jack or whatever the case may be. So we paying attention to the red jack. Meanwhile, the king
right,
and the queen is killing us.
right,
I just, bring that to the conversation because I think we have to start understanding that the information that is being disseminated to us, yes, there's some validity to it, there's some truth to it, there's some things to be worried about, but that's not the thing to be worried about. That's the least of the things for y'all to worry about. In theory, there are, I'm sure, other underlying information that has been presented, and I'm sure B Love is probably going to touch on some of it, so I'm not going to say anything until she says whatever other information she'd like to disseminate. But I just think in this particular case, I don't even know if that's so much a black and white thing anymore, so much as first and foremost, we have to understand that in this country in particular,
hmm,
we have never had the opportunity or had the ability to speak our piece. The laws, the way that this place was set up was never set up for us to be a part of it. It just wasn't. I know people don't want to hear that. I know that makes people feel uncomfortable, which is why they don't really want to teach critical race theory and all that stuff. Because
right,
if you do, then you have to put into or take into effect or take into account you only made us three-fifths of a person. Uh, this ain't
right,
something I'm making up. This is true stuff
right.
that you can look up
That's a
On
on your
fact.
own.
paper, exactly. On
you you
paper,
have you have time and time again, anytime we have spoken out, and it doesn't make a difference on what the topic is, you've done whatever you can do to silence us, because in theory, once you get people thinking and you get people critically thinking in particular, you open up a whole different avenue for people to start going, wait a minute, some of this
That's
doesn't make
a
sense. I don't.
right,
fact.
mm. And I
right.
think that that's really what we're up against again when you start looking at this whole situation. So, I think we really always have to factor those things in when we're talking about these kinds of stories.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking on Monday, and we were no Wednesday. One of the things we were talking about is, well, y'all are sitting here watching this whole Donald Trump turn himself thing, and our money is being devalued at a rapid rate. We talked about that Wednesday about how, like, what are we doing to protect ourselves? We are being distracted. All of this is distraction, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they are literally trying to take our power away from us, whether it's expelling two young black Democrats who they know make a presence and have a voice. They're afraid of another Barack Obama. They're afraid of allowing someone to come
Mm.
into the office who really does care about people. And let's be very clear. I think we are past the point of anybody ever being able to come in and make a real difference. That's just my personal opinion. We're past that point. All of this now is politics, but it still makes the point that we need to be having people in position that are our people who are looking out for us. Those three representatives went to that floor to let it be known you're loosening laws on weapons when you should be tightening laws on weapons. We just lost six of our own. This was in Tennessee. Three Tennessee representatives. We just lost
Mm-hmm.
six of our own. Three kids and three adults to this senselessness, and you guys are co-signing it. Why aren't we paying attention to that? You know what I'm saying? Why are we not doing anything about it? Why are we
I,
walking around in this ignorance of our vote doesn't matter? If our vote didn't matter, they wouldn't have a seat to begin with.
well, I'll say this. I'll just add to that. I don't think that it's a matter of our votes not counting. I don't think it's a matter of voices not being heard. Fortunately, unfortunately, and this is something, again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This country in particular, their greatest weapon is fear. That's just the honest to God truth. Their greatest weapon is fear. It's always been fear. So here's what happens. And nobody wants to say this because then you go, oh my God, they could be monsters like that. Yes, this retarded ass country could be monsters like that. And I'll give you two examples real
It
quick so you can see
happened.
what I mean. The situation that happened there, like you said, these were kids that got shot. Like I said, what normal person goes and shoots up a school with babies? I'm not talking about junior high. I'm not talking about high school. I'm talking about with babies. So in my mind, somewhere this is some sort of setup that they needed to, bring back everybody and jogatize us to being, oh my God, what's going on? So forth and so on. The second thing I'll say is when you look at these situations as they unfold, because again, the dude
What?
just talked about how the money is changing. We just saw that the gentleman who started Cash App supposedly got stabbed randomly in a
Mm-hmm.
in a nice neighborhood in San Francisco. When,
Mm-hmm.
when do people who have that kind of influence gets that in a nice neighborhood. I'm not talking, he wasn't hanging out in the hood. He wasn't hanging out someplace he wasn't supposed to be. But
Right.
randomly, he
Right.
supposedly got stabbed in a neighborhood that's affluent and is nice. What I'm trying to get y'all to see is they'll kill presidents, and they have. If they will jail and or kill leaders of certain communities, and they have.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think that they won't set us up by having fake bombings? They won't set us up by having fake shootings?
And
Y'all
all of that.
stop. Like, I
Right.
Three
need
card
y'all to
Monty.
really stop
Three card
and
Monty.
stop with it's a conspiracy. It's the truth. It's
Right.
hidden in plain sight. The problem for most of y'all is you have been hearing the word conspiracy theory for so long, so then you get caught up in that. Oh my God, this is another no, it's the truth. It's facts. Like I said, go look. John F. Kennedy was killed for real, by us, not by
Yep.
some mystical this, that, the third. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm not
Yep.
saying this again to piss people off or to make people, have a messed up Friday. What I'm saying is we've got to stop dismissing things and then being fooled by the system again, because y'all heard me say this, that they put in place to make you think that you have power and you have say. Like I said, if we had power and we had say, Mitch McConnell and his punk ass
Would have been
partners
out.
wouldn't still be in power. The fact that we've had some of these other people who've come into play 45 and beyond, and even 45, as much as we hate him, the one thing that you got to give him even credit for is he was actually showing us how jacked up the system was. He's continuing to show us that. If you want to
Yeah.
be honest, he's not going to do a day in jail. For all of y'all who like, oh my God, he's not going to do a day in jail. Y'all could best believe it.
Man, I could wait to see him in a jumpsuit with the cigarette stash,
But the thing is, to your
building
point,
his jail kingdom.
to your point, beloved, what they're trying to do though is show you that they can touch anybody. And
Right.
see, that's again something that nobody wants to be honest with themselves about. So I get frustrated, and the real reason why I can't jump on off and all this stuff is because I'm saying to myself, again, they showing you this in real time. I just heard y'all mentioning something about the music industry. Have y'all saw all this information that's coming out about AI technology that
Mm-hmm.
can make B Love B Love's voice can come out of Amir's mouth? Have y'all seen all of this? So trust me,
Yes.
y'all, they trying to jack
Dangerous
things up
times.
in ways that
Dangerous.
you can't even begin to imagine. But what I'm saying is, please just don't be sidetracked by the immediate foolishness that they keep dangling in front of you, so that you don't pay attention to the deeper
Attention to
issues
the real.
that
That's
belie
a
us.
fact.
Right.
Please,
That's
y'all.
a fact.
Absolutely.
I like your three card Monty analogy because that's exactly what it is. But you got to understand the foundation that this country has been built off of. The founders, the so-called founders, supposedly moved away from the structure of what was going overseas. But they
Right.
brought some of that into the politics of the founding, the Constitution, et cetera, et cetera. And most of the founding fathers, if not all of them, were unscrupulous people. When you do
Yeah,
your due
absolutely.
when you do your due diligence, they were not upstanding individuals. They were criminals. They were
You couldn't.
escaping, eluding. They were trying to get away from possible
Yeah.
prosecution. A lot of different things. When you do your due diligence, you'll understand that the founding fathers that we give so much credit to, or that the nation gives so much credit to, were not that. And when your foundation is built on bullshittery, what you think is going to sprout up from it? Listen, you got
Absolutely.
to pay attention.
Absolutely.
You got to pay attention.
Yes.
A lot of us, we get
Yes.
caught off in the hype of social media, like Amir said, in the drama, the bullshittery, the
The
celebrityism,
beef
all
grease
that
of it
stuff.
all.
The bit. There she go. See, she on it. Pause. Not so pause. But but you have to. I know some people don't like the term "stay woke," but you need to wake the hell up.
Yeah.
Do for
Yeah.
You need
self
to
in the
pay
manner
attention.
of doing your own do knowledge,
Right.
research. Don't take what I'm saying for face value. Don't take what B Love saying for face value. Don't take what Amiz
Yeah.
or anybody else is saying for face value.
Right.
Listen, if it intrigues you in a positive or negative way, go find out what's behind it. Go find out if
Yeah.
there's validity behind it, and you'll be surprised how much you'll dig up and how much you'll find because information is available. Do it while the information is available. Do it while
That
Absolutely.
part. That
ability
part.
to research stuff because there will be a time. There will be a time. It was written and foretold. There is a time where that's not going to be available. So you're going to have to pass it down verbally.
Right.
Do your due diligence while you can. Because
Right.
this world coming in, they're trying to change history in our schools. They're trying to take history out of certain histories out of our schools. They're
Yep.
trying to tell you things one way when we saw it be another way. And as well
We're
as,
watching it.
man, listen, understand
Yes.
something. What you said was very pertinent, Amir. Y'all better pay attention. I know y'all want to turn up. I know y'all want the salaciousness of life and all these other good things. Okay, cool, but balance it out. Understand the fear that he's talking about, they thrive on. Fear is birthed out of the unknown. The fact that you don't know, that you're
Yep.
uncomfortable with the fact that you don't know about about something, about a person, about a situation. Period. Don't let fear
Yes, for
overtake
sure.
your life, and don't let fear control your life. Take your life back and by way of what's up here. Put some
Absolutely.
good things in
Educate
it.
yourself.
That
Educate
part.
yourself. I
That
know we
part.
spend a lot of time on TikTok. I know we spend a lot of time on social media. What are you fueling your brain with? You know, we talked about this. What are you putting in that really matters and handing down to your kids? We've let the responsibility of raising our kids to social media, to iPads, to PS5s, and that's not a criticism. We know that they like to do what they want to do, but we have to be the ones to hand down the values, the
That part.
traditions, the knowledge, the education. I always say that we have to be accountable, to both because it feels like we're getting lost. And to your point, Amir, agree, we're getting lost in the wrong thing. You know, even Sarah Lynn Forty said we need to not worry about politics and invest in things like property, but the understanding the politics is what fuels you to make the right decisions when it comes to things like property or investments. The stock market is tied into the money that right now we have concern doesn't really have a value.
Hey,
The
evolution.
fact that the money that the interest rates right now are as high as they can be, 7.8, almost 8% interest rate. When I bought my condo 2 years ago, I got a 2.2% interest rate. That was winning. Today, you can't buy property at that interest rate, even with great credit. Why? Because a lot of the decisions that are being made at the top impact everything we do at the bottom. So both of these kings are right. We need to be accountable. We need to educate ourselves. Don't get caught up in the other stuff. It's easy to do. It's just a distraction. But that's why we're here to talk about it with y'all, because it's Feel Good Friday. We want y'all to feel good. We want y'all to feel empowered. We want y'all to feel knowledgeable. We want y'all to walk out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna go check that out. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
Be
That
love
part.
for president. Y'all better go vote for me. Y'all better go vote for me. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to hear the ads to work, girl. Y'all better
B
get on that
Love is
damn
heading up the
line.
beef grease. B Love is heading up the beef grease party.
I'm standing right there. You go. Stand up for beef grease. Everybody needs some in their life. Oh my God. It is Feel
That
Good
man.
Fridays, y'all. Please make sure y'all put the thumbs up. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We got King Amir in the building. Always a pleasure to have you in the
Of
building.
course.
I
That part.
wanted to talk about one more thing that I found really interesting, guys. Don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but you know what? It's interesting how we again get to decide, what we want to do today in many different ways. There's a Spanish TV star. She's from Spain because we say Spanish fluently. Revealed that she just welcomed a baby via surrogate, who turned out to be her granddaughter. So the 68-year-old actress
Wow.
Wednesday said the baby girl's dad is her late son, who died from cancer in 2020. This girl isn't my daughter; she's my granddaughter. She told the outlet of Anna Sandra. This was Alessa's final wish to bring a child of his own into the world. Prior to her son's death, Obregon said Aless was encouraged to preserve samples of his sperm before beginning cancer treatments. The samples were frozen and stored in New York, she said, as surrogacy in Spain is illegal. The actress said the baby was conceived in June 2022 and was born March 2023 in Miami. The identification of the baby's mother as a potential egg owner is unknown. She's getting a lot of flack for the fact that she basically made our own
Have
grandbaby.
that's a deep thing. That's deep. That's deep.
So you have one son, he
That's
dies
deep.
of cancer, so he's gone. You go through the pain of losing him, and now you yourself, so now you have the ability, because that's what the world we live in now. You have the ability to do what you want. You can actually pick what kind of kid you want. You can have an alien if you want one, and that's
Oh,
what some of them
what?
feel like they are. But I'm just saying, is it right or wrong? This is her legacy.
Okay, let's try to unpack this as quickly as we can because I know y'all don't have a lot of time. How is it wrong for you as a grandmother to one carry on the legacy of your family,
Right,
and then the big thing is this? Okay, so like she said, her son was dealing with some health challenges, cancer in particular. As a they decided, you know what, we still want to be able to ensure that your legacy or that you live on.
right,
If my memory serves me correctly, that's what all of us are trying to do, technically speaking, is ensure that our legacies live on. It
right,
doesn't make a difference how it comes to fruition. That's the whole purpose of some of us being here on the planet, plain and simple.
right,
Now,
right.
for people to be outraged, and here's something that I saw the other day, and I got to give my man Tony Rock credit for this. Why do we have selective outrage about things that really don't concern you?
Right.
The only way that you could or should be concerned about this is if he was connected to your child, meaning your daughter or something like that, and she didn't have the opportunity to have this kid. But other than that, people want to be upset about things that have absolutely nothing to
Nothing
do
to
with
do.
them. You have a whole life of your own, you have challenges of your own. Why don't you focus on those things?
Right.
Why don't you make sure things are going well in your world? Therefore, you don't have time to worry about what's going on in somebody else's world. We got to do better collectively, not individually, but collectively. The fact that we always feel like we have to chime in on everything, we have to make sure our voices are heard. If this ain't your family, it ain't none of your goddamn business. And I
Period.
mean that. And I
Period.
mean that wholeheartedly. I'm not
Period.
saying it to be mean or facetious. It's nothing, it has nothing to do with you. The fact that this woman has allowed herself to still have a grandchild brought into this world, that's a beautiful thing. End of story. That's all that should be said about this.
Phil.
I agree. I agree on the one hand, but then it's still the instance of, okay, one, her age. She wasn't a spring chicken, so that could have been a wasted embryo sperm situation for the surrogacy of it all. Two, why did it have to be his mother to be the surrogate as opposed to another good candidate?
She wasn't a
I
surrogate. She wasn't
I
the
thought
surrogate.
I thought you said she was a surrogate.
No, she's not the surrogate. They had someone, a
Oh,
random woman. Yeah,
oh,
no,
okay. Then
who
that changes
donated
my
the
whole
egg.
perspective.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
that
I
I
think
thought
that
I thought you were saying
people are
she. I
no,
thought you said she
no,
carried the.
No,
That's why I was like, oh.
no.
But no,
no.
that changed the whole. Yeah, that's nothing. Then that's of course.
Well, I know actually. So I hear what both of
Yeah,
y'all are
no, we
saying,
good
and
then.
to a degree, I agree. Like it's nobody's business, but it also comes into what Phil just said when we said, here you have a 68-year-old woman. If the father's now gone, the grandmother who's in the picture who just decided to create you and had you at 68, who knows how long she's gonna be around. How do you now you have a kid out there who's kind of out there on her own, and I think this is where a lot of the family traditions and values keep getting lost because it's watered down. Now everything about your family is coming third party from somebody else. So it's like, are you really protecting your legacy, or are you just really being selfish, making sure you have one more on the books, so to speak, having one more, you know what I'm saying, kid that comes from your dad, from your son, but you don't even know if you're gonna be around to raise her.
And
So
his
now
But
wife,
here's
she,
or
to your point, B. Here's the thing, though. As you can see, and according to at least from what you seemingly read in the story, this was a conversation she had with her son.
right,
Look, there is nothing stronger than the bond between parents and their kids. We could talk all the tough stuff we want. How many times have we seen parents on TV? My child is the greatest. Your child is a murderer. No, no disrespect, but so on record, like what are we talking about?
Child is a
So, so,
murderer.
but I say
He
that
just made a
again, not to be,
mistake.
not to yeah or whatever. But my point is in this particular case, because I'm sure you've grown up with your grandmother. I'm sure Phil has grown up with his grandmother.
Right.
Y'all know how grandmothers get down. Your grandmother, she will, run through brick walls for you. She'll, protect you in any and all costs. And whatever,
That's a fact.
time she may have, here left, her thing is, I'm sure she's probably going to pour into her grandbaby in ways that we can't even begin to imagine because to and for her, this is her lineage. And she
Right.
wants to ensure, or at least probably make sure, that this child in particular has all of the amenities of knowing that you come from, such great stock, probably, trying to instill in her and let him or her know how great their father was. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I'm not quick to, jump on the side of negativity so much as I'd rather err on the side of positivity because both my grandmothers, I miss them tremendously.
Right.
And, I've shared on other platforms, B Loves knows I've, shared this. And I'll share this real quick. I'll never forget as a kid, I was heavily into video games. So, and this was a kid. I would steal from
Right.
anybody. I didn't care who you was. Grandmother, aunt, uncle,
ColecoVision.
cousin, didn't make a difference. Yep.
Honestly,
ColecoVision.
This
Jazz.
no, this would Phil. Phil. This one used to go to the arcade, and you had to put the quarter up on the
Okay.
machine, so
Okay.
you
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
nets.
Yeah. I
So
took it way
I'd steal
back
from
before
anybody,
that.
and I'll never forget my grandmother. One time, my whole family's going over to my grandmother's house, and we get there, and everybody walked in, and my grandmother hit me with the, "I don't want this little thief in my house." This is my grandmother now. It's my mother's mother. She was like, "I don't want this little thief in my house." And I was like, "It's me." She was like, "I don't care." She was like, "You steal.
It
I
is
I don't
me.
need you here in my house. You steal." And for me, that was one of those moments that I've always kept with me because it helped me realize, like I said, grandmothers, parents, they will go to bat for their kids a million times over. So we have always got to, kind of keep that in the back of your mind. She sounds like the type of woman who really just wants to ensure not only that, her family has a legacy, but I think she's going to pour into that kid in ways that we can't even begin to imagine because I think she realizes it's a extension not only of her, but of her son as well. So like I said, again, I'm all for it. That's no disrespect, to
Yeah,
anybody.
my now that B Love said what she said, it changes my whole perspective. But a lot of other people thought you said that she was a surrogate too. If you read the
No,
comments, that's
that
why I
she
was
had a
like,
baby through via
I was
surrogate.
like,
That's what I said.
I,
Mhm,
No,
okay, so
mhm.
I was like, that don't sound.
sorry guys. Sorry,
And
sorry,
I take it he
sorry.
wasn't married. I take it he wasn't married, and that the mother might have been random. The egg donor might have been
Right.
through
It
Mhm.
was a. It was a. It
organization.
was. Yes.
Okay,
It was a
okay,
random
yeah,
egg donor. They haven't revealed her
yeah.
identity. I did read that part. So it. Listen. It was just something to throw out there, guys. Appreciate you so much, King Amir.
Man, it was
Let
a
us know
good
where we
topic.
could
That's
find you. Yeah, we love having you on the show. You're always welcome. Where can we
that's right.
find you as we get ready to wrap up this Good Morning Gang Feel Good Friday?
A Rock Sealy down there at the bottom on Instagram, Amir Sealy on Facebook, Amir Sealy on Twitter. And, thankfully, I have such wonderful people like B Love and Big Phil who will allow me to jump on a platform from time to time and share with y'all. I want to say happy Easter, uh, Ramadan, Muwaffa Ramadan for those who are practicing Ramadan. Please, y'all, enjoy your holiday seasons. As they shared earlier, just enjoy your family. Know that,
Yes.
hopefully you're doing everything and anything and everything in love and with your best foot forward, and the rest will take care of itself. Y'all know my saying. It's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. Take that with
Mm-hmm.
you,
Yes.
use it, open all kind of doors that you don't even think are possible. I love y'all
Absolutely.
and
Love
everybody.
you.
Have a great one.
Salute, my
Thank
brother.
you so
Salute.
much, King Amir. Appreciate you. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone for all your feedback. Evolution Brooklyn, I see you, boo. We shouted you out early. I said you were going to come through. You never disappoint. We already know we're going to be here tonight on YouTube for Feel the Love Fridays, guys. I'm for sure be in the building. Um, Yes, I don't know what the row is about. Thank you so much, Watchman. Watchman, I'm drinking Starbucks. I'm not sipping on nothing heavy right now. Not yet. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tonight though, just so you know.
Oh
Big
Lord! Last
Phil,
time
what
you was
you
drinking, you was instigating a whole lot.
listen? And I will be instigating tonight at 8 p.m. right here on Fiddle Up Fridays with Evolution Brooklyn, the beautiful Evolution Brooklyn, and my co-host Big Phil. Phil, what you got going on this weekend, man?
Man, listen. Feel the Love Fridays tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, I'll be on these IG streets, a couple other streets. I've been silent with a lot of lives and things or whatever, but it's time for me to get back to business.
You
I'll
ready
say
to
that.
come out? I'm coming out. This weekend feels like I'm
Oh,
tired of being
Oh,
quiet.
no, hold on.
Pause. No, no.
Ain't no
Coming
I'm
back.
coming out.
No,
There's
coming. No,
none of
you
that.
coming back.
Ain't none of that. I'm coming out,
That's how you took
Burberry.
it. I'm just
I'm
saying. That's what
outside
you
though. I'm
said.
outside. We'll be down no out. No. What you got going on them real streets? Cause you outside for real this
I
weekend.
am outside. I'm in Philly. I'm gonna go see my girl at Nikki White Chocolate in just a little bit. I'm gonna finish the Starbucks coffee. I got the slave ship call in about 6 minutes. Then I'm gonna jump on. And but the best part is this weekend I will be with my girl Lady Nay, who's also with me, Virginia Beach Man Code. This Saturday, if you are in the area, come out and have a drink with us. Come out and do some hookah. Come out and celebrate. Make sure you support. I love each and every one of you guys. You make my whole world. Seriously, I love you guys. Shout out to my co-host. Also, always an awesome time with you. So, you know what I always say, make sure you guys love God, love yourselves, stay blessed, guys. And I'm gonna roll it over to Big Phil so he can roll us out of here. Starbucks.
I
I
think you
need
need
an
something else in that
I
Starbucks
need I
cup. I
need an
don't care what you
endorsement
say.
deal.
I think something else is in that Starbucks cup, but we ain't gonna.
Not yet.
You know, some people put CBD oil in their drink.
No.
She put beef grease oil in her drink.
Oh, y'all
No,
gonna
ladies
leave me
and gentlemen.
alone. Y'all gotta leave me alone.
Look, you gonna instigate later, so I'm getting mine off now. There you go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, smile. As I normally say, smile. Because you never know what it might do for somebody, including yourself. See how we smile and having a good time? Positive vibes
Yes.
only. That
Yes.
part. More importantly, and she's doing part of that this weekend by going to visit another friend who's been through a tragic accident. Love on somebody on purpose.
Purpose.
Listen,
Yes,
so
for
much.
sure.
How much better the world would be with that if we would just love on people on purpose. Think about that as you go throughout your weekend and your week coming up. Listen, on that. With that being said, next time we can chop it up and have a tay. Until that day, you know how I do. I will holler. Be love
Bye,
or holler.
guys.
We out.